Good morning, good morning, good morning. Pardon my 10 seconds tardiness. I had like the biggest sneeze, and although quite proud of it, I was thinking maybe not the right place or right time to do it, right? So welcome, happy Friday. I'm not really sure I know what a Friday is anymore, but I believe it's the day before Saturday and the day after Thursday. But when you're 7 days a week, Friday's kind of 2 days before you get to watch a little football and eat some buffalo wings. It's kind of my life at the moment. That being said, I do want to jump back into the email yesterday that we sent out. I have it right here, because yesterday's live, I was more or less able to share the email the day before in terms of, hey Jack, in terms of 2003, the year from hell. And of course, that's a headline that, is he just looking for clicks type of thing. But no, I'm not exactly good at, offering hyperbole to get clicks, because I just feel that's a bit dishonest. So that headline was actually quite authentic and quite genuine to what I believe 2003 is going to look like. And yesterday's live was just sharing a bit of a context of, well, the last time I saw something that looked like this, and gave the supporting details so that the story makes sense to everyone and you can see yourself in it. This is what happened. All right, so the last time Anthony's spidey senses went off, it was correct. And at least as a small sample size of one, the credibility is at least at 100%. This is the second time I'm feeling that. My spidey senses are going off, and they've been going off to such a point that anyone that's been with us for more than a year knows that Rhino Street is not something we invented yesterday, right? To get to where we are, we had to have been building it for quite some time. So the spidey senses have been going off to the point that I went ahead and took the risk that I'm going to be correct over a year ago. So me sharing that with you today is not, all right, this is a great new marketing plug or great sentence. No, this is, the spidey senses are hitting all-time highs. Like, you need to move. So I wanted to properly do my best to not offer you the disservice of not, I don't want to offer the disservice of Anthony didn't properly explain that his warning was something more of marketing, right? Like everyone does marketing, we just kind of chalked it up to the marketing thing, and that was our fault. I really wish Anthony, kind of shook me a little bit. Like I always say, when I was a kid, I wanted to be older. And everyone would always say, stay a kid, you'll enjoy being a kid. And you never really believe them. You kind of like, that's what everybody says. It's like your parents are smoking cigarettes and say, this is really bad for you, you don't want to do it. It's like, I hear you, but I also have eyes too. And I always wished that when I was growing up, somebody literally took me and shook me and said, no, trust me, you want to stay young, like enjoy this. Because I never believed them. Anyways, story for another day. But yesterday's email, I touched on a couple of things. One, the goal for yesterday was to add 10 new members. We only added 2, and that's not because, we were shooting for 10 and failed at 10. During the day, I realized, well, last Friday, we did our emails to each individual one-on-one. Hey, you're at no plan. You really should be at 1. Hey, you've joined us at the $1. I hope you like what you've seen. I believe the $1 was always a starter. Just kind of look around. We think that you've earned moving up to the $5, or we believe we've earned for you to move up to the $5. Whatever the case may be, and we did it on a Friday. The point is, there is a big difference between us sending out those emails with zero structure, all willy-nilly, and us sending out those emails on a Friday. The point being, if you do it every Friday, it's expected. This is what they do. This is responsible company governance. They're constantly looking to grow their base, and they're doing it in a responsible way that is known. They're not knocking on someone's door at 2 in the morning. They are simply calling them at 1 p.m. on a Friday, like everybody knows. So those emails that we would have sent yesterday that would have moved, or at least gotten us close to our goal of 10, we decided not to. We're doing that today, and we're going to keep it as an every Friday thing. So what I shared on today's email was that we have an opportunity to gain up 14 new members today, and we have an opportunity to gain close to 1,000 new scheduled demands per week. That goes into what the email was yesterday that I'd like to share. I touched on that I wanted to educate us on the levers we can pull. Because whether it's an investor that I speak to, or whether it's anyone I speak to, and I spoke to one, well, I speak to some all the time, but one yesterday said, Ann, I see the numbers going down and I'm a little concerned. Can you speak to me on it? I said, yeah, of course, because I'm like happier than a pig in mud. Sorry, I decided to have Dunkin' Donuts this morning. I might have eaten a little too much. He goes, all right, so I see the numbers going down. I see the scheduled buying going down. I see the average plan going down. Like, are we really losing that many people? How many people have we lost? I said, oh my God, I can't believe that's what you think, but that's a reasonable explanation. They must be losing people. Obviously, they're gaining more people than they lose because they're adding every day. But if these plans are going down, they're probably losing the big people and they're gaining smaller people. I said, oh my God, I didn't even realize that that was part of the calculation because I'm so in the forest and can only see the tree in front of me that somebody that's a newcomer or an investor that's looking at the whole picture, that's what they see. And I said to him, I go, thank you so much. I go, we haven't lost a single person. I go, a lot of our members pulled their buying forward because when we had it at 50 cents, it offered that deal. Those that thought, okay, I'll buy $500 over the next month, instead said, you know what, I'll buy the 500 now, and then I'll move down to $1 every week thereafter. So the month still equals 500, 502, 503. I go, and that's what we wanted. In fact, every new member we've brought on, we've shared with them, just joined for $1. Because it's always been our commentary that that average weekly cannot be over 50 like it was. It needs to be between 20 and 30. Because let's say at $25, if life gets really tough for any one person, and they say, oh my God, I need to cut expenses, the $25 a week expense is a real one, and it's an investment. So that person might say, well, it's not really an expense, it's an investment. But more so than that, just on a nominal number, there are many things somebody will spend money on that's over 25 per week. If we're at the $50 per week, that same person says, all right, investments, expense, I don't really care. That's like $200 and something I could find for myself in a given month. Let me get rid of it. And the point of this whole thing has always been, well, this whole thing sounds quite like condescending, like there's a lot going on here. But I have never, ever been willing to sacrifice our future to go ahead and have better numbers that are better than they should be, right? So what I was sharing with in the email yesterday was all the levers we could pull. Like if I wanted to say to everyone, hey, you know what, if you go ahead and put 1,000 in right now, we'll do it for 20 cents, right? What would happen? I would have a lot of $1,000 purchases. In fact, next week I might have $50,000 in purchases. But would that be a real number? And what about the people that own it at $1? Would that be fair to them? Oh, but what if I did it secretly? No, because where are the numbers coming from? If they go to 50,000 and drop off to 2,000 the next week, that's a serious problem. All right, you know what? I will do this. No. We have many levers we can pull, and we're always going to do them responsibly in the benefit of the long-term vision, because the base is everything. I've always said, well, you've never heard me say, the stronger the base, the higher the space, right? The longer the space, the higher, the longer the base, the higher the space. The stronger the base, the higher the space, right? And I've never said that to you, but I have said it in other circles. So what I want to touch on was, how can we increase the average plan? Well, we've been purposely decreasing it. We've been trying to get it down to 25. We got it down to 24.37 yesterday, jumped up to 24.59 today. And what you can see is we landed the airplane. We stopped coming down and we landed exactly where we wanted to. But does that mean that I want all of our $1 to stay at $1? No. Does that mean I want all of our $500 to stay at $500? Well, there are some rich people, if they want to stay at 500, I'm not going to say no, but I don't want our numbers to come down all because we just take on a whole bunch of $1, because that's not enough buying power. And because it's a disservice. Anyone that can do $1 could do 5, could do 10. It's not me saying, oh, you have more money, give it to us. It's me saying, you're investing. You can invest more, and you should, because this is going to be good for you. So we're going to bring up all of our 1s, 5s, 10s, 15s, and 20s and offer them $5 higher, but capping at 25. Our 25s are exactly where we want them to be. If they want to move up higher, God bless. The $77, we've noticed we have 3 77s, but like 3100s, which means 77 is just a cute number. I thought like, oh, 77, that's lucky. But anyone that's doing 77 can easily do 100. So we're thinking about getting rid of the 77 altogether. So we'll see, because those 3 people at 77, we want to move them up to 100. But the levers that we can pull, and I know it's already 10, 11, give me one last minute. Can we increase plan size? Of course. How many plans can we add with the partnership program? Well, once you're able to go ahead and actually share with someone, hey, well, actually, first of all, it's a form. My name is Anthony Cadlish, this is my email. I want to go ahead and invite Mr. Smith. This is his email. This is why he should join. Bing, they get the email. Hey, Mr. Smith, Anthony would like to invite you. He says, and I quote, bop, 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 join here. Well, if we're going to offer 50 RHINOBUX for every single time you do that, and that RHINOBUX is going to become liquid to you immediately, so that if you want to, you can sell it the next day. So we're basically giving you $50 to bring someone in and get signed up. How many will you bring? What if we made, you know what, if you bring in 10 people, if you bring in 20 people, we will give you this big size. How many would you bring? So one person can turn into 10, can turn into 100, can turn into 1,000, can turn into 10,000, all at the cost of what? The company is very, very open to sharing the coin to invest in the growth. We're all building the same thing together, and this is how we go ahead and work as a partner. 10, 12. How many plans can we add when the automations are completed? Well, when it's no more manual stuff, and you know that you can share with someone and say, simply sign up here, and all your transactions are done automatically. Automations are done, goes to your wallet, bing, bang, boom. It's like crypto for, you know, the stay-at-home mom or dad, right? Like someone that doesn't understand it can do it. Well, if it's that easy, can big influencers do it? Can people that have followings do it? Because you got to remember, we're not running all right, let's tell these people. No, we're running, hey, everyone, this is what we're doing. So when you find someone that actually understands what you're doing, do they say, all right, if I'm going to do this to my people, you got to pay me because they're going to hate me after this? No, they're going to say, oh my God, this is amazing. I can't wait to share with my people. How can I be a larger participant? And you know what? It's 13 minutes over. Well, 3 minutes over. I love you. Tomorrow's email, I'm going to go ahead and spend a little more time talking about the wallet for those that are having a little difficulty. And I did speak to someone yesterday that said to me, Anthony, your emails sometimes sound desperate. And I said to the individual, I go, first of all, I don't work for me. I work for RHINO. I'm on account of RHINO. And every single day, new people sign up. And I don't care how desperate my emails sound. The goal is to raise membership. And if I go ahead and ask the pretty girl on a date, and she goes on a date with me, and she loves me, and we get married, do I really care that I tripped and fell on a banana peel and looked silly and said, I don't know what my name was? No. The ends justify the means when the means are ethical. I have zero pride, zero ego. I will ask the same person to sign up 1 million times until they say, Anthony, please stop, or they sign up. Because you know what? On the 1,000,001 time when they sign up, what am I doing it for? I'm doing it for them. Hey, because I know from a year from now, they're going to say, Ant, you know what? You're the most persistent person I've ever met. And thank you, because I wasn't going to sign up, but now I see why you said that. And thank you. So anyone that believes that, RHINO has no ego, nor does RHINO care to look cool in front of anyone. RHINO is accountable to RHINO. And when RHINO is what it's supposed to be, you could all say, Ant, you know, you look silly. And I'll say, you have $1 million now. You're welcome. Bye, everyone.